just your summary of words of what didn't go right for you guys tonight.
Coach probably would allude to it. We weren't ready to play tonight, emotionally, mentally, and they were happy to be here. They were happy to be in the IT. They were happy to, have a chance to compete and advance, and we didn't play like it. So it's pretty much, energy, positive energy elevates, elevates every time. Really, a team that can have positive energy throughout the game and throughout possessions and throughout their time here in practice and weights, and that's the team's going to get better. That's the team that's going to, advance and elevate to a new level, and they did that today.
Evan, obviously it was a short prep for this game for you guys. What was maybe the defensive scouting report for you guys? And obviously they had a great shooting night. What went wrong with it?
And they run a lot of things, and we can't get through all things in one day. We had to rely on our principles, and our principles weren't good enough, or our principles are, but we weren't good enough to execute those principles. So that's where the disconnect came from, and the talk wasn't, at a high level. And they're so good, they're so senior-led, and they're all seniors. They're really confident, really capable guys. You know what they're looking for on offense. They know how to play, and they showed it.
Keyshawn, you guys closed out the first half pretty well, considering the early hole you were in, and started off the second half well as well. I think you were up by 10 on them, but then kind of allowed them to claw themselves back in. It looked at that moment when you're up 10, you almost had them on the ropes early in the second half. Did that feel like a missed opportunity to kind of keep some space between you guys?
Yeah, it certainly did. We always talk about separation, and the only way we could get separation in college basketball is getting stops, and we couldn't string stops together after getting that 10-point lead. So it's as simple as that.
Keyshawn, we just mentioned that they're a veteran team, but they don't play a lot of guys. It's basically 5 guys. Was there a sense that you thought maybe you'd be able to wear them out, and did their still sustain energy late in the second half, maybe catch you by surprise a little bit?
Well, that was our plan, was to really run them, because they only played like 5-6 guys. But like Evan said, they just brought the energy, and energy can compensate for a lot of things in basketball, and they have more than we did today.
And when you take it off the net every time, they have time to rest. So they're scoring, they get back, and they're resting on defense. We take it off the net, and that's your time to rest. So, if they miss shots, we go transition offense. That's a little harder on the cardio. So it's all your best to not getting stops. That's what the game boiled down to.
Hey, Keyshawn, I know you guys were pretty disappointed with how the Pac-12 tournament ended, and were you guys at all maybe surprised you didn't make the tournament, or was any of that maybe lingering into tonight, or you guys just you were fine mentally, you just didn't have enough energy? I just want to kind of understand it a little further.
Of course we were disappointed that we didn't make the tournament, but it just felt like St. Bonaventure wanted to be here more than we did, and it showed in the first 3 minutes of the game. Like every time they made a shot, the whole bench, the whole team was hyped, and we were just like on our heels. It felt like. So that was probably like what happened with us in terms of like not making the tournament and just being ready mentally.
Keyshawn, I thought you played fantastic, man. You guys got down 10-2 early. You came off the bench. You had 9 huge points in the first half. 4 for 4, didn't miss a shot. But I want to ask, and this is for Evan as well, what's it like playing against a great shot blocker like that? His shot block at the end there was a game saver. But what's it like when you're getting into the lane and you got to go up against a guy he's pretty much the human eraser?
Well, it's tough, because it's just his presence can like really help his team defensively. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys can like pressure, the guards can pressure, because they know they have somebody on in the backhand of their defense. And he did his thing today. He does what he does best. He's a 2-time A-10 Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. So.
And so for you, I think the philosophy for you guys was try to take him away from the basket.
Yeah.
3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Did you do as much as that as you would have liked to?
I was out there on the 3-point line, but he was leaving me to even chase down shots and help guys. that's the time you got to play off 2 feet, reverse pivot, and then find an open guy. Because, I mean, you have 2 guys on you in the paint, and somebody's open.
You guys face anybody like that? How would you compare him to Coloco with Arizona?
Similar, but not identical, but similar, I'd say.
Evan, it's never easy to hit the end. I know it's fresh right now, but can you summarize it all? Just the feelings. You hope to make a run, you hope to play more games, and then all of a sudden it's all over.
I mean, if you asked me what I would have kept the story beginning of us being Arizona, or have the chance to play in front of all these fans, the people I love, and the whole community again, I would choose the latter every time. I think nobody questions that in my decision, because I'm all about the Buffs. So I thought we were going to keep playing, but it's been an honor, playing in front of the fans and the community, and the fans showed out today, and we didn't give them a good show. So that's on us.
Hey Keyshawn, and it might be a little too fresh because your season's just ending, but if you could just give like a little summary of how you feel like maybe you've grown, or anything in that vein, where you feel like you've improved and where you think you still need to improve, going into the summer here.
Man, that's a pretty loaded question, but honestly, I can't really like answer it to be honest, or like how I improved. I'm not the type of person to like just give myself flowers or whatever it may be, but like what things I have to improve is definitely like my energy, like being just consistent with my energy and my effort, because that's a big reason why sometimes we didn't have the starts that we needed this year. So probably just that.
Key, it's a disappointing moment. I know that at the end of the year, but for the guys that are set to come back next year, obviously lost some guys in the preseason, some of those young guys. But I mean, is there a sense amongst that kind of core of returning guys that this program's still in good shape, and you guys could be on track for a really strong season next year?
Yeah, I mean the team is very, like, we were a young team this year, and I mean we didn't try to use that as an excuse, but we competed, and that's how the season ended, and we're just gonna take that in the off season, get everybody better, and see where it takes us next year.
Anything else? All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. Love you guys.
Thanks, Evan. Thanks, Keyshawn.
Okay, that's it.
Pleasure, man.
Have a great summer, Keith. Best of luck.
Seriously. Okay, everybody, we got head coach Ted Boyle. Coach, if you please start with an opening statement. We'll open up for questions.
Yeah, let me first start by just, big picture stuff, which is really hard after games like this, that so emotional, and season comes to an end so abruptly at home. But we got 4 really, really special young men who are seniors in this program: Evan Batty, Elijah Parquet, Will Laughlin, and Ben Ursek. And all 4 of those kids have represented this program so well, on the court, off the court, in the community. And I'm so proud of them, and they're going to be great, successful people as they move on in their lives. They're going to be great family men, and so I gotta. Sometimes you got to look at that, when it's all said and done, and understand that's part of this process. Obviously, the game itself was disappointing. You got to give St. Bonaventure credit. They were the better team tonight. They were the tougher team tonight. They were the better executing team tonight. They were the team that didn't want their season to end more than we did. And I told our team at shoot-around today, the team that wins this game is going to be the team that does not want their season to end more. Now, assuming we both don't want our season to end more, who doesn't want it to end more? And it was St. Bonaventure. They jump out to a 10-2 lead. All 4 of their first baskets were things we talked about at shoot-around. The first play of the game, they got the dunk. We walked through that, talked about it, watched it on film. Got 2 transition baskets, 1 layup, 1 wide-open 3 by their best shooter. We talked about that before the game started. I mean, it was, and we weren't locked in mentally ready to play tonight for whatever reason. And that's something, I've got to look at myself. Maybe I didn't do a very good job getting our team emotionally ready to play tonight. Maybe I just took it for granted. I didn't take St. Bonaventure for granted. I promise you that. Neither did our staff. Our team was prepped on how good these guys were. They were warned about their toughness and their ability to execute, and we were not good enough defensively all night long. That team came in our building, shot 53%, 52.7, 50% in the first half. Oh, I mean, we couldn't get stops. That's a helpless feeling when you're just trading baskets. We're up 3 at halftime because our offense was good, and we made shots in the first half. Guess what? Second half, we had too many empty possessions down the stretch, and we had 2 shot clock violations, 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half. That in itself tells you that your team is not mentally ready. You should never have a shot clock violation March 15th. You might have one November 15th when your offense isn't kind of gelled yet, you're still working on things, but not on March 15th. That tells you right there that our team was not mentally ready to go tonight, and that's disappointing, and that's on me. That's on me as a coach, so I got to take responsibility for that. But I wanted this season to continue. I wanted this team to get to New York and experience Madison Square Garden. I've experienced it as a player. I've experienced it as a coach. These guys won't. That's disappointing to me because I know how special a place that is, and maybe St. Bonaventure will get there. I don't know. They're a good team. They're well coached. They got good players. They're tough. But we weren't. We didn't live up to our end of the bargain tonight. Our fans did. Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, student section rocking. Fans were great. We lost 6 games in this building this year. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. So I'm angry because the season's over with, and I didn't want it to end because I love coaching this group of guys. But we've got to look internally as a staff. We got to look. Every player that's returning has to look internally because we did not meet the standards at Colorado basketball that we've set for ourselves, and that's not a good feeling. It's a long opening statement, isn't it?
I know they have a really good defensive player in the middle there, but what was happening that took, they really were able to take Jabari out of this game?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great shot blocker. We knew that coming into the game. We talked about it. Jabari didn't have his best game. Jabari made some really good plays for other guys tonight, though. I mean, he really did. I thought, I didn't even see his line, but, he had 6 points, which is not him. 2 for 10 is not Jabari. He wasn't his best tonight. But listen, the kid's been consistent all year long with 17 double-doubles, and the reason that I emphasize defense and rebounding so much, guys, is for nights like when Jabari goes 2 for 10, because there are going to be nights like that. Unfortunately, it was tonight. But, we had a good look there in the second half at the rim. Evan had a great look from 3. There's nobody I'd rather have at the rim than Jabari Walker. There's nobody I'd rather have taking a wide-open 3 than Evan Batty, the way he's been shooting the ball. So we had our chances. We just didn't make shots when we had to make shots. We had too many empty possessions, the shot clock violation in the second half, a transition turnover, another turnover. Too many turnovers down the stretch and empty possessions offensively. That puts pressure on your defense, and our defense was not up to it tonight, as we haven't been many nights this year, and that's frustrating because this was not a great defensive team, and that bothers me as a coach because I feel like that's something that I take pride in.
Tad, we were talking with Evan and Key about this, but the Bonnies really don't go much outside of that starting lineup in terms of guys on the court. Those 5 starters are used to eating 36, 37, 38 minutes of the game. coming out here to altitude, was it at all expected that perhaps as the second half went on that those guys would get gassed and fatigue would catch up to them?
I thought they might, but they did a good job. You know, they went zone in the first half and to basically rest. And the TV timeouts, you know, these ESPN2 games are like 3-4 minute media timeouts. That really is an advantage. So you get into postseason play and the lack of depth, even at altitude, doesn't play as much of a factor as maybe it would have. But they got tough kids, and they're in great shape. You know, when you play 37, 38 minutes a game, you're in good shape, and they were. And they're mentally tough kids. And that's the thing. You know, look, that's a senior. All 5 of them are seniors. I think they're all 22 years of age or older. And so they're tough. And that's what our young guys have to understand. It doesn't matter the name on the front of your jersey. They had the emotional edge tonight. You know, we're the Power 5 conference. We're the higher seed. Guess what? Those kids they got self-respect. They got a lot of pride. And they played like it tonight. They did. And they beat us. And that's something that we're going to have to live with all off season. Home loss in the NIT. Something we're going to have to live with. I'm going to have to live with it. Every senior's going to have to live with it the rest of their lives. The returning guys got to live with it. Now, if it doesn't create a little bit of edge and a chip on your shoulder, we got the wrong guys. It better create that. This has got to be a great off season for everyone in this program. Coaches, players, managers, you name it. And
that off season, what do the next few weeks look like for you guys, and what are some things you kind of are honing in on, you know, accomplishing?
So yeah, obviously the season's over with. We're going to give our next week is spring break. I'm a sit-down immediate guy, so I'm going to give them tomorrow to kind of let things digest. I'm going to digest things tomorrow, and I won't watch a film because it'll just ruin my whole day. But I got to sit down and talk to our staff about every returning player, the message that I need to give to them. I want to know what they're thinking, and I'm going to meet with every returning player on Thursday or Friday. They'll go home, spring break, whatever they do for spring break. Unfortunately, when you have spring break as a college basketball player, it's been a disappointing year. You want to be playing during your spring break, but maybe our guys wanted a spring break and didn't want. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I didn't, but so I'm gonna meet with these guys immediately, and then I'll meet with them again when they come back from spring break, because they'll have gone home, talked to their families, and we'll kind of get a game plan as we move forward, and then we'll start our off season lifting and skill work and development. I mean, off season starts. It starts for them tomorrow. It can't start for me tomorrow because we have to give them so many days off. Got to look at the compliance issues that we got to deal with, and so we'll. But they deserve some time off, and whether we had spring break or not, I would give them a week for sure. Mostly because I have to. But anyway, it was a good year. It was not a great year.
Ted, you've been preparing for the farewell to Evan Batty for some time now. The end always comes abruptly.
Yeah.
But just what are some of the emotions now having to say farewell to that guy?
It's funny. I'm like empty with the emotion right now. I know how much I told Evan in the locker room how much I loved him, and he reciprocated it. So I mean, my relationship with Evan is going to be rock solid as we move forward for the rest of his life. I always say when we recruit kids, this isn't a 4-year decision, or in Evan's case, a 5-year decision. This is a 40. It won't be 40 years for me because I won't be alive. But for the rest of my life, Evan Batty has got a friend, an advocate, somebody that will do anything in my power to help him. And that goes for every senior as well. Evan's not the only one, but what a special kid. I didn't want it to end like this. I would like to have won, and you knew it was going to end at some point over the next couple of weeks, but I didn't want it to end. So I think Evan's a little bit numb too, quite frankly. As an emotional of a kid as he is, he's a little emotionless tonight. I saw it on the floor and I saw it in the locker room. It's not like him, but what a special young man. Evan's so unique, and I've talked a lot about him. But what makes him unique, I think, in today's day and age is he is such a competitor, but he's such a gracious sportsman who has empathy and compassion, not only for his teammates, but those that he plays against. That's really, really special. That's very rare. I probably haven't done enough. I've given him a lot of superlatives and said a lot of nice things about Evan, but I was thinking the other day, that's what really makes him different than most guys. You know, it just does. You know, he's always positive. You know, and look, St. Bonaventure, congratulations to them. Evan Batty would have never done what their players did to an opposing student section at the end of the game. I'm not mad at St. Bonaventure. Look, you won the game. Do what you want to do. Evan Batty would never do that. That's what makes him special. He's positive. Yeah.
Just on that with Evan, one of your better recruiting classes with Evan and McKinley and Deshaun was here tonight.
Yep.
And to have Evan kind of pass that down to what was a really strong recruiting class. I know the freshmen had a lot of injuries this year.
Yep.
But to have him just on campus to pass that down, is that just such a huge thing for the program, having that passing down ability, I guess?
Yeah, I think, I've said since I got here 12 years ago now, I'm interested in building a program, and I think we've done a good job of that. I'm not interested in building a team, I don't like the transfer portal. Not saying that we'll never get in it. We might be in it this spring. I don't know. We'll see what happens, right, with my year-end meetings with our guys. But I want, freshmen to come in this program and learn from the juniors and the seniors. We had no juniors this year. We had seniors. We had a great senior in Evan. So, yeah, I want those young guys to learn and to carry on and to have the pride and, that's what a program's all about. That's what a culture's all about. And we've been able to build that here. And I don't want to get into we're going to sign 4 guys, from the transfer portal every year and just try to, everybody says get old and stay old. I mean, yeah, I get that, but I don't want to make a habit of that. I want the young guys to get better and improve, and I think they will.
Okay.
Thank you.